Welcome back. Today I've got the first installment of a new series that I am doing called Is It Worth It? This is where I'm going to be taking the most expensive strategies in the game and putting it to the test to see if it's actually worth it to invest all of that currency. Today I've got full investment breach. What that entails is over 90% currency roll with a chisel, bringing it to 140% or more. We'll be using a grasping astrolabe, 3 delirium orbs. You do 3 to 5 depending on how strong your build is. 2 breach scarabs of instability, 1 scarab of wisp, and then a bloodline scarab and a risk scarab. Bloodlines are going for about 1.1 divines right now, and risk scarabs are about 1.2 or 1.3 divines. The base map that I am buying is 90% currency roll with no chisel on it, not corrupted, and those are going for about 40C, and with the avarice chisel plus the delirium orbs, they are 45C and 14C respectively. We bring our investment up to about 130C per map, just on the map itself. Grasping astrolabes are about 100C apiece. They last 5 or 6 maps, so I chalk it up to about 20 chaos per map. All in all, we're investing about 3.1 divines per map, and we are farming raw currency. Our tree is very simple. It is beyond, it is breach, and there is eater altars that we are going to be taking. We go through, get the top hat for map effect, make sure we are getting the currency items as they spawn the most beyond monsters. It's about 20% more after being tested while div card farming. Then we are taking all the rest of the beyond nodes except for Torn Veil and the 2 notables at the end of the bottom. We're going to be grabbing Shaping the Skies and Shaping the Mountains for more magic and rare monsters in the map. And we are going through and taking most of the breach nodes. We are making it so they are always unstable breaches, giving it a little bit extra time, but more importantly, spawning 2 additional rare monsters when stabilized. And then we are getting our eaters, altars, just the minimum amount of points we can put into it. It's not ultra important. We will be killing a lot of monsters in this strategy. You will be getting a lot of gold and XP. The last node we're taking is Synthesized Stability, so that we can keep doing dunes on Grasping Astrolabe. Hopping into the map, we go and do a couple of things. First, we go through and clear the map. Try to grab as many altars as you can. You don't have to boss rush, but if you want to, just so you have a better chance at getting more basic currency dupes or more quant instead of boss altars, you can do that. Once you are done clearing the map and grabbing all of the altars, then you can start clearing the breaches. I usually do them in pairs. So what I will do here to start is just run through and clear some of the map. These takes about 2 minutes with all the beyond monsters spawning. Just takes a little bit extra time for them to get going. And you'll see that a lot of currency is already dropping. I have a very strict filter on where I am leaving out single alterations, scourings, a lot of stuff that will not show through here because you are dropping so much. So we'll scout out where all of the breaches are. I'll grab the league mechanic, just take a peek at the charts that drop and see if they're any good. If there's nothing good on the altars, you don't have to click them. I'm just clicking them because why not? I'll go kill the boss real quick. Then I will show you how we're clearing the breaches. So I usually do them in pairs. I've got 2 breaches right here next to each other. We'll open up 2 of them because it's the most you can open. And we'll go through and we'll make sure that we get them all the way charged up. And once those are going, then we can go around to the outside and start killing all the magic monsters that have spawned. This is where a lot of loot. Do not skip this. It's very important. Go around, kill all the magic monsters, get as much stuff to drop as possible inside of the breach. And then, once you've done that, this is a little bit worse of a setup because there's a wall here blocking. Once you do that, then you clear all the rare monsters out, and all the currency will drop here. You get quite a bit. I'll drop 10 chaos at a time, 8 chaos at a time, divines, Baldus, lots of annulments, lots of ancient orbs, lots of tainted currency from the beyond monsters. We're looking for divines, we're looking for Baldos, and we're looking for our jackpot items. Those would be the Hinakora's locks and mirrors. And we'll have the boss spawn sometimes, and they'll drop rings. There is a specific type of ring that gives max lightning res that is more expensive. It's about 70C unidentified because you're using it for raspy males. Dex stacking attack speed seems to be what people are using. That comes from the lightning and Eshes, so the lightning res ring will be what you are wanting. This synaptic ring right here is exactly what we're looking for. So we got 2 of them. We've got a divine orb. Drops a pretty good amount of currency, but keep in mind that this is a very expensive strat. Looking at this quad tab right here, this is about 10 maps worth of loot. We've got 7 raw divines here, and if we look for the Valdos, we've got 3 of them. Now we're getting about 1 or the other every single map, along with more alts, chaos, rings. We've got wound gifts, so you can use your hive blood afterwards. Got random scarabs, some of them can be expensive. I actually dropped a risk scarab while doing this. And I've dropped a fracturing orb as well. That's just in this 10 map set. This quad tab right here has about 10 maps worth of loot. So we've got 7 divines, we've got 3 Valdos. I dropped a fracturing orb. I dropped a sacred orb, a bunch of wound gifts, so you can use your hive blood, lots of chaos, and then scarabs, some of which are good, as well as your rest of your bubblegum currency. Done about 50 of these maps, and I have not dropped a Hinakora's lock yet, which is a little bit disappointing. You're waiting for that jackpot item to really skyrocket the divines per hour. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting at not a lot, maybe 10 divines per hour, just because it is a very high input cost. The difficulty of this strategy means that you need a lot of character power, and that reward for the amount of character power that you do need doesn't fit what the investment cost is. So we've got 3 divines going in, and if you actually look at some of the data that I collected just on a 10 map sample, this is about similar to what I was finding before. Looking at 31 divines for 10 maps, getting about 20 divines worth of currency, and we are profiting 6 divines, which is half a divine per map. The downside is that these maps take a long time. I'm talking 8 to 9 minutes. Probably 6.5 or 7 if you are very efficient with this and your build is good for it. I just want to put all this into context right here. So this is the last 10 maps I did, and then we had 2 splits of 20 maps that I did. I only made about half a divine each map, and that was without dropping a Hinakora's lock. If we had dropped it, it would have gone to about 18, 20 divines per hour. It depends how many maps it takes for you to hit it. I've done 50 and I have not dropped one. So if we are looking at 75, 80 maps on average to drop that, it's about 11 hours of gameplay. It's only going to average out to about 15 or 13 divines per hour extra profit if you do hit that item. So we'd still be sub 20 divines worth of profit. And the amount of player power that you need, the amount of investment that you need, and the amount of time that you need, it really doesn't justify the returns that it gives. This strategy doesn't really seem to be worth it for the input costs. You don't get a lot back. There's alternatives for mid-tier investment. So if we take the Risk Scarab and take that out and replace it with a Resonant Cascade for 20C, take down the cost per map by a divine, and you're getting similar results. So we will make I was making 1.4 divines per map, and the time that it takes is very similar. It rewards you for doing 2 of the breaches at the same time, so it makes up for the lack of the map mod, and it costs a lot less. So I was actually averaging about 18 divines per hour doing that over the course of 40 maps. If you're going to choose a high juice strategy, I wouldn't choose breach at the current prices. If the price of the Risk Scarabs were 100C, like they were earlier in the league, then yeah, maybe it's worth it. You take an extra half a divine profit per map, but the way that the Scarabs are priced and the reward that you get from this difficult mechanic isn't justified. I would do one of the mid-tier strategies that requires a lot less currency, get you a little bit less results, but overall, your profit per map will be about the same, and you still have the possibility of hitting the jackpot item. If you have any questions about my reasonings for why I say that it's not worth it, please ask in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer and go into it in more detail if we didn't get the gist of it here. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one.